Welcome to the channel. Welcome to my annual case roundup video. This is for the Galaxy series. Every single year I do this. I get a bunch of cases to talk about all in one video. And the structure of this video is that I don't go into a full-blown review about each case. It's an overview, goes over some features and some first impressions about each product. If you're interested in a certain product or brand, you can go right down into the video description and look at the chapters and click on the timestamp. And you can go right to that section. Or you can watch the whole video, sip on some coffee or your favorite drink, and just get into the fun stuff about covering all these phone cases. I've been doing this for a while now, and I've got a pretty good idea of what makes a good case and what I'm gonna like. My aesthetics, I love materials that are like leather, carbon fiber, wood, that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of the plastic feels, the clear backs, things like that. So if you find that on here, you're gonna see my opinion is not gonna be the best about it. But I do really appreciate the other materials a lot. What do you like? Let's go ahead and get into these cases. And each time that I go over a case, please rank them yourself. I'm gonna try to do this like ranking system. 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs up, or down. Label the case next to your reaction. And I'm not talking about thumbs up or thumbs down on the video, so don't get confused with that. A comment, okay, all right? And just one other point about the links down below in the video description, that these are affiliate links. Some of these cases were provided to me, so I can include it in this video. Some of it I do invest in myself. When you click on those links, I earn a commission from that, and that helps me out a ton. It is literally just the same way as just supporting a small business, so I appreciate it when you use those links. And some of these actually have some discount codes down there too, so pay attention. You got some codes that you could use to save some money when you do checkout with those affiliate links. I'm gonna go with Pitaka first, and the reason is because it's, to my knowledge, the only one on this table that has a precise cutout for the camera module. So I kind of wanna set the standard for that, because that, to me, just is a very nice detail that goes a long way. All right, so this is the Pitaka Ultra Slim case. This is, again, for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. There are different variations for the different variant of the Galaxy S25. This is the black and gray woven. They have some fantastic designs out there. You really got to check out their website. What I love about Pitaka is that it's very minimal, but it's pretty dang protective. I've used these cases throughout the years, and you know, at some point you're going to drop your phone. I'm as careful as I can be, but there are just times where things slip out, things fall, and the accidents happen, right? So even with being as small as these cases are, they are still protective. And what makes these protective is that it's made from an armored fiber. What I love about this design right away is that it's gonna have full edge protection, and that's something that I really appreciate too in case designs. Sometimes with these kind of cases, you have like an open bottom and open top at times. You're not gonna get that with this one. It's got MagSafe, and they've always had really good magnets too. All right, so let's put this on in. Might be too early to tell, but this might be one of my favorite cases for the S25 Ultra. I mean, the main thing that sticks out to me the most is that it's got that precise cutout for the camera module. It's not this big P shape is like what we refer to for years at this point with some of these cases. It's literally cut out for each camera module. And then on the bigger ones here, it's very protective, like it's slightly above. You got a full access to the volume rocker and the power button. On the bottom is a nice cutout for the USB-C port, your speaker, and it's gonna be easy access to the S Pen. With the S Pen in the past, it's been a bummer with using MagSafe is that it kind of like the magnetic materials around it would interfere with the writing. So let's see. It's not doing that this year. And that's been my experience so far with the cases that I've used. Spoiler alert, I've used some of these cases, I just put them back in the packaging so you can see what the packaging is like. This is awesome that there's no interference at all with the S Pen and magnetic materials. If you really like the aesthetics of the S25 Ultra, this is one of the cases that you can't go wrong with because of how slim it is. It doesn't add hardly anything to the phone at all. It's just a touch more than as if you had just a wrap or skin on it. Pitaka's always been really good about the magnets on their stuff. It takes a lot of force and like you gotta pry it off. Yeah, it's fantastic. Any coffee drinkers out there? My favorite coffee is from my local town. I'll leave a link in the description. Let's start with mouse. They have been one of my favorite cases out there. They do a great job with their designs. So this is the thin PC black. You can see that it's got a MagSafe ring on the inside, but it's got a soft felt material on the inside, then a slight little air pocket on the inside there too. It's a very thin case and it doesn't flex that much. One concern I might have with this case is just leaving fingerprints. It's got these cutouts that are not like these big gaps, other than the back. We'll talk about that in a second. But the power button is pretty easy to get to, and the volume rocker is pretty clickable too. On the bottom, you got cutouts for the USB-C port, speaker, then S Pen access, does with MagSafe, and it's perfect again. I wonder if the case companies are incorporating that technology to where it's not interfering anymore, or if it's something that Samsung did on their end, or both. So it's barely raised above the screen. And then on the back side, it is raised above the camera module, but you got full P-shape cutout. And unfortunately, not every case company does like what Pitaka does. It does a full cutout for that kind of stuff. Man, some of these cases will look fantastic with that. So this is the thin PC black. So basically the same case, just different color. And we'll put this on. Now, being that this is a lighter color, in comparison, fingerprints aren't going to show up as much as on this kind of color. All right, next up is their limitless armored fiber. So you're going to have that felt material on the inside. Then you got much more padding and air pocket on the edge. So on the inside, you're going to see it's kind of got this air canal. On the other side, you got the carbon fiber material design. And you're going to notice that you got more reinforcement on the corners with this series. And right away, you just know that this is a more protective case than these other thin ones that we've talked about. You can definitely tell that it's going to be a little bit more protective. On the sides, you got these grooves here that's going to help with some grip. It's definitely raised above the screen more than the other cases. And you get that P-shape cut out here. The back has that soft carbon fiber material design and feel to it. Solid case. This is one of those ones that I would definitely recommend. MagSafe. It's nice and strong. Takes a lot to get the magnet off. Now with the S Pen, it's a little bit different cutout here. So it's kind of got a curve to the cutout to get more of a side access to it. And again, S Pen works great. So who's bummed out about the Bluetooth being removed from the S Pen? There's times already that I would have used it if it was there, but oh well, not a thing anymore. So if you're a clear case person, this might be one of the few that's on the channel this time. So much like this one, it's just gonna be clear. So if you like the design of your phone, you wanna see the color of your phone, not covered up as much at least, you can get something like this and it'll be all right. In both of these cases, the buttons are very clickable. They have a nice tactile feel to it. I will admit that this does look pretty nice. With the white phone, you got the black frame, the black MagSafe ring. It's not terrible. It's just still not my flavor of cases. I just don't like that plastic feel. Much like this case, it's raised above the camera module. It's got reinforced corners, full cutouts for all the different ports. It's gonna be pretty accessible with the S Pen, and the S Pen is just as compatible as the others. This is gonna be probably one of my top ones. I've always loved this case. It's the walnut limitless case. So just like the other limitless cases, you got that air pocket on the sides, that canal, reinforced corners, felt material on the inside. You can see the MagSafe, but man, look at that. That wood just looks good. And it fits great. I love mouse cases. They just feel good in the hand. Their buttons are always very nice and clickable and tactile. Nice grip on the sides. It's gonna slide in and out of your pocket with ease. It's a very protective case, but yet just looks great too. I'm so happy that the S Pen works with these cases with MagSafe. It's a relief this year, that's for sure. And this is the limitless leather. So again, a nice material. That's the great thing about mouse cases is that you get nice materials, it's still protective, and it just looks and feels great. Just like the other limitless cases, the air canal here, that's gonna give some extra shock absorption, reinforced corners. It's gonna be hard to do a top 3, I can just tell. Dang, look at that. This might be the one that starts living on this phone. I like the leather a lot, especially with that white phone. I mean, that is one of the benefits of having the P shape, is that you still get a little bit of a glimpse of what the phone looks like underneath the phone case. Very protective, reinforced corners, solid case, nice grip, tactile buttons. Can't go wrong with this case at all. Love it. S25 Ultra is a fantastic looking device, especially with this matte screen protector. Chef's kiss. UAG has been on the channel for quite a few years, and I was looking forward to trying out all their stuff. This is the Metropolis LT, and I like this one a lot. Like I rocked it out for a few days. It's got this cool topography design on it, and you can actually feel it. It's not just lines on it, but you can actually feel it, which actually adds to the grip a little bit. Their cutouts on the UAG stuff is like I don't know if you want to call it a happy medium, but it's not quite a P-shaped cutout, but it still has a precise cutout for one of the cameras. On the inside, you're going to see the MagSafe ring, and then you got like this honeycomb design on the inside, so that's kind of some of their technology with their protective shock absorption. And along with that, you got that air canal on the sides and some reinforced corners. The only thing that I wish that they would do different with their cases, I don't say only thing, but just something that they, in my opinion, just need to get rid of, is the little slits or cuts on the sides of the buttons. It does kind of help out with the clickability, but I just don't like the fact of like, that's just a access point for dust and dirt, things like that, to get between the phone and the phone case. One of the cool things about UAG cases that has just been tried and true throughout the years is that they have all these different groove points, and that just has some different gripping points of the phone, which helps prevent you slipping out of your hand. And with this being such a big phone, like that's actually an important feature that UAG cases have. It's raised above the screen and also above the camera module. It's not a P shape. I mean, there is a P shape there, but at least one of the cameras has a precise cutout to it. UAG cases, it's one of those brands that you can spot from a mile away. It's very unique looking, and it just stands out from the crowd. Easy access to the S Pen, and the S Pen works great as expected at this point, which is awesome. And it hugs the phone quite a bit. So with these edges that the S25 has, some of these cases have like a little extra claw to it, and it's like grip to the side. So you know that the phone's not going to slip out of the case at all. And by the way, I'm using their MagSafe ring to do these tests, and what's wonderful about it is that you can position it to where it's like a kickstand, and it's got these solid edges to where it doesn't rock back and forth. It's really cool. They also have a MagSafe battery pack, which this is 5,000 milliamp hours, and dang, it's pretty thin. Next up is their Plilo Pro, and this has kind of got a unique design to it, and it's got like a gradient blue cover, and I know that you can get different colorways to this as well. It's got that air pocket on the sides. The buttons are nice and tactile. You got full access to all your buttons, all that good stuff, and it just has a unique design to it. So with this having the white phone behind it, I think this is one of the best colorways for a phone to go with this particular color kind of case design that they have going on. MagSafe, very solid. Next up is their Pathfinder case. This is a case that has been in their lineup for years at this point. It's been one of my favorites too. And what's really cool about this one, this is one of the ones that I tried out before. You got a lanyard that you can attach to it. So if you like having lanyards, and actually like most cases, a lot of cases, you can get the lanyard, but you can get a different phone case if you want to and still put it on the preferred one. You can see each one has these lanyard holes for it. And I like this colorway. This blue looks really cool. And with the white S25 Ultra, it really does look nice. It's a little hard to explain. It just has like this slight grip, like it kind of claws and clamps down into the phone area. So you just know it's like hugging the phone really good. Very tactile buttons, reinforced corners, you got the air pocket canal, and you got some extra gripping points here. Very nice to be able to hold on to. If you feel like you're gonna drop your phone, like get one of these lanyards. You're not gonna drop it that way. You put it around, tighten it up, let it hang. So pretty cool that you have that option to go with. Now I feel claustrophobic with this lanyard on. I gotta get it off. But I know some people will like that. So really cool MagSafe. I love their ring. Like you can see how it just doesn't tip at all. You can position it all kinds of ways. It's very sturdy. Definitely one of those everyday carry items for me at this point. Another series that I really like with the UAG is the Monarch. And this is the Monarch Pro. So you've got some like hard materials on the outside here. You even got some like screws here. It's got that nice industrial look to it. Then you got carbon fiber woven in between the grooves here. Pretty similar to like the Pathfinder as far as protection goes. Again, hugs the sides of the phone really good. It's got this honeycomb grip on the sides. Again, just nice gripping points. Even the grooves here help with grip because you have like these contact points that you can hold on to. MagSafe is awesome. It takes a lot to get it off. Like it attaches pretty nice. It's got some nice force to it. Reinforced corners, good cutouts for all the ports at the bottom. Easy access to the S Pen. S Pen works great. Solid case. Like this is their civilian case. It's got like a pretty cool looking design, but it's got that hard plastic outer shell kind of feel to it. So it's not my particular style that I go for, but it's still a very, very protective case. But it's on the thinner side. Like it doesn't feel as bulky as like the Monarch or the Pathfinder. So if you want a relatively protective case, but not as bulky, this is a good option for you. I like the orange accent. That looks pretty cool. Good tactile. It's a pretty tactile click. It's not the best, but it's there. Got good cutouts for all your ports here at the bottom. Easy access to your S Pen, and you still got MagSafe. Even though you don't really see the MagSafe outline like on the other ones, you still got it with this one. Here is another Monarch Pro, and this one, I like this design a lot. So it's got like this woven Kevlar material on the grooves. It looks cool. The colorway with the green and then the orange accent, it's a pretty solid design. Reinforced corners, it's a heavy duty case, tactile buttons, feels good, nice access to all your ports at the bottom, easy to get to your S Pen. S Pen writes just fine. And you got like that honeycomb design on the sides for your extra grip points. It's definitely raised above the screen and the camera module, so nice protection there too. And then we have the Plasma XTE. It's not quite all the way clear case, but definitely clear elements. So on the sides here, I'll try to like wave it around a little bit in front of the camera so you can kind of see it. I would assume that if I had a different or darker color device that you could see like the design, but it's got like these dots pattern on the sides over here. And then you have a built-in mag ring, so you can use it for a kickstand. You could even use it for like a ring to hold a phone, but you're still gonna have MagSafe compatibility with other MagSafe devices, such as their power bank. One thing you might be asking is like, well, this power bank kind of looks like it covers the lens on the bottom here. It actually doesn't. I was very surprised with that. You can kind of see here, just watch the different focal points. I thought it would get in the way, but it doesn't. You have full access to the S Pen. S Pen works just fine. Out of all the UAG cases, which one do you like the most? If I was gonna only rank the UAG cases, this is probably what I would do. I would go with this Monarch. And then just for the unique aspect about it, I like the topography kind of look and feel on that. So between those two, these are the two I probably would go with. Even though I do like the Civilian for being a little bit not as bulky. So I would probably go top 3 with these 3 UAG cases here. More coffee. Oh, and by the way, I got this cup a few years ago from UAG, from a nice care package, and I still use it literally every day. This is the MagBak Elite case, and if you want to watch more about it, you can scan that code. I'm not going to be installing that because I love my matte screen protector. For this particular video, I'm not going to put the screen protector on, but I am doing a full review about this case, and I will put that on, showing you the full installation of this, so that we can kind of get the full picture. So you want to subscribe to the channel and make sure you don't miss that video when it comes out. But I've really liked MagBak cases so far. Like I've been working with them for, I don't know, a few years at this point. Like one of the cool aspects about this, and I'll have to get this on so you can kind of really appreciate it. And if you notice, something that some of the other cases haven't done, except for one, is that you got precise cutouts for the camera module. So that's really cool. Let's go to get this installed because I really like showing this case off because of some of the features that are just unique to this case only. Felt material on the inside. You got an air pocket canal on the inside, so that way you have some extra shock absorption. And this seems to, like there's areas that it hugs the sides, but like around the volume rocker and power button, it's a little soft. Everywhere else though, feels pretty solid around the edges. This has a port cover for the USB-C port, so extra protection there. You got a full cutout for the speaker, and then nice access to the S Pen. MagBak has had some of the best magnets in, I mean, it's in their name. They have to have a good magnet, right? But just from using them in the past, always very good magnet features involved with their cases. The buttons are very nice and click tile, some of the best out there. And then what's really neat about this is that, yeah, you got MagSafe capabilities, very strong magnets, like I said. That takes a lot to get off. And you know, sometimes with MagSafe wallets, they kind of slide around a little bit. And this is the reason why, like, MagBak has made it into my top 3 or top 5 cases in the past. And it's because of things like this. It's kind of got that hard plastic TPU material feel to it. It's a protective but not bulky case. The buttons are nice and tactile, but then they have these little features just throughout the whole thing that's just really cool to me. So you got this magnetic kickstand. So you got that. I use kickstand stuff every stinking day when I'm eating lunch. Like I'm watching TikTok videos, catching up on YouTube videos, and I'm propping up my phone to watch those videos. And then what the really cool thing, like this is the most neat design to me, is that it's got this ring on the back. And it just feels nice and natural to it. What I love about it is that it hides just as easy. And you can get to it relatively easy. You kind of pull it out a little bit, then it's right there, and it feels nice and comfortable. Another neat accessory that they include with their kits is this magnet bar. So you can place this almost anywhere. You can put it in your car, somewhere in the kitchen, just anywhere that you want to be able to, you know, prop up your phone and look at it wherever you need to. I've put this on computer monitors in the past, different areas just around me to where it's just easy to put the phone up there and view it for whatever reason that you need to. And one of the cool things that MagBak has is that you can swap out different pieces. So this is all black, which is my preference. I love black, especially matte black. So I've got a few different colors that you could choose from. You got this blue and orange and red. You could swap out the different pieces like this ring, the buttons here on the side. So you just kind of pop them out with these side buttons. This just kind of pulls right out. I don't know if you're like me, but I hold my phone and usually have either, most of the time, my pinky just kind of resting down here at the bottom. This port cover is more than just a port cover. It's actually like a finger rest. And it's nice and soft and it's comfortable. So it's like, again, one of those little details that they put into these cases that I absolutely love. And this is the classic MagBak case. So this is a little bit different style. It's got more of that TPU material that's a rubber material on the full like design of the phone. It's a full mold, but you can still swap out those buttons if you want to with these customizable buttons. Nice soft felt material on the inside, and again, precise cutouts for the camera module, so that's really good. I mean, this is a cool case, but when you have the option to have this MagBak with all these different extra features, go for this one. It's got nice clickable buttons, very nice tactile, some of the best out there. MagSafe, it's so thick and strong, it's ridiculous. I love how that's good. That's so good. But I mean, so let's say you like this case more than this one and you want that ring holder or an optional to have it. You got the wallet that you can get with it. Let's talk about Benks, because Benks has some pretty fantastic designs. I had this case on for a few days. And what I like about it is that it just has some really cool woven design to it. Where I knock them on a little bit of points is that they have the P shape cutout versus precise cutouts like what we see with some other cases out there. So the material on this though, it's got this really cool grip on the sides, and it's that woven armoride fiber material that you can just feel. It's smooth, but you can feel the bumps. and it just adds that extra little gripability to it. It's slightly raised above the screen, so you get a little bit of extra protection there, but it's covered on the full edge. Like there's no open spots except for this area where the buttons are at. Get a little bit bigger cutout for the USB-C port, nice precise cutout for the S Pen, and the S Pen just works great. It's kind of got that Scottish-Irish pattern vibe to it, which I love. I do wish that this was black. Like if this rim was black, that'd be just perfect to go with the black lenses. And then I also like to wear black. This is their Armor Air, pretty close to what we just saw, just the black version of it. They're so lightweight too, it feels like barely anything on it. But again, raised above the screen just slightly. Full access to your buttons on the side. It is got some, it's like an extra rim around it. It's framing. It's gonna help protect those camera modules. And I will say, like, it does look pretty good. It matches the silver for the most part on the side of the S25 Ultra. That silver here on the back is pretty close to what the phone frame is like. This is the Armor Pro Montage. And what I like about it, it's got a nice looking design to it. Think about it this way. I mean, one, it's got the black frame around the P-shape cutout. But if you like different kinds of carbon fiber materials, it puts it all into this whole case. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 different patterns, and it just looks cool to me. It's a little bit thicker case than like the Armor Air. This is basically all carbon fiber here, or armored fiber material. It's just molded to the phone. But this has like that TPU kind of side to it. So it's got a little extra level of protection to it, a little bit more bounce protection, I guess you could say. And it's raised above the screen more. It's almost the same cutout for the P-shape. I mean, it's the same shape, but phone case is thicker, so it's obviously going to go inside of the case a little bit more. Benks has always had great magnets to their cases too. It takes a lot to just pull it off. Another big difference with this case is that you got actual button covers, and they're very tactile, feels great. This is the bodyguardz Ace Pro. Some features about this case is that one, it's gonna have a MagSafe ring to it. It doesn't have that little piece here that helps, you know, stuff from sliding around. I don't know if you knew what that was, but like that little strip right there, if you can imagine, especially for like wallet cases, it just kind of helps keep things in place. It's got an air pocket here in the canal, so you get some extra shock absorption. You get a lanyard already attached to it, which I actually like that. I don't have to fish it through. It's got some like these little dots on the sides, and that's gonna help with a little bit of extra grip on the side there. It's not a bulky case. The buttons feel really nice and tactile. The bottom, you got a full cutout for the ports at the bottom. Relatively easy to, almost easy. It's easy to get to the S Pen. I was fumbling around. And everything writes well. It's raised above the screen, and the P-shape cutout is raised above the camera module as well. So it's kind of got that smoke black look to it. Looks pretty cool to me. Magnets are pretty good. You got to kind of get it off there at an angle. So I recommend putting that at the bottom, then putting your hand through so you can tighten it like that. A little easier to get to. Let's check out the bodyguardz Paradigm Pro. So it's kind of neat about this feature that they have incorporated into this particular phone case is that it's got directional speaker ports for better sound. So I'll show you what that means in a second. So this also has a lanyard already attached. You've got kind of like an air pocket in the canal there too. It's got a rubber grippy material on the inside, and you can see the MagSafe ring there. Let's talk about the directional speaker cutout. So you can see here, there's not a cutout per se for the speaker like you see here. See, full cutout, most all cases have that. But what this does is has a cutout that points it this way. As you can imagine, in like all the other cases, I didn't mention it because it's all the same, the speaker here for your earpiece comes at you. So if you're holding your phone, watching videos, listening to music, whatever it is, it's coming at you. But the bottom speaker fires downward. What this does is redirects it to come back at you. So you can hold the phone in almost any direction and it's gonna direct the sound towards you. The case is raised above the screen for that extra protection there. You can notice that there's gonna be slightly thicker corners there. That's really good for drop protection. The back, it is like a plastic feel, but it's got a grippiness to it. P-shape cutout for your camera module. The buttons feel nice and tactile. S Pen is relatively easy to get to, and the screen write's good. you got that lanyard option. This is the Poetic Neon. What I like about this case is that it's got a couple layers of protection. You've got that rubber material on the inside and then a hard shell on the outside. It's raised above the screen pretty well. It's got a nice rounded edge to it actually, so it's pretty protective in those regards. The buttons are very tactile. You got full cutouts to your ports at the bottom. S Pen is pretty easy to get to. Wish the button sometimes was on both sides. Screen works great. Writes just fine. You know, so many blank page notes saved from doing this. On the back, it's got a few different rubbery gripping points. So one is right here, so that's gonna be, I would say, mostly for handling purposes. But then on the rest of it, you know, it doesn't slide around on a surface as easy. So that's actually a pretty cool feature about this phone case. Got a P-shaped design for your camera module. This does not have MagSafe. So this is a Poetic Neon. However, this does have a MagSafe ring to it that has a flip out ring. Maybe you don't use MagSafe, you don't care about MagSafe, you can get that one. But if you do care about MagSafe, go with this guy because you got a built-in MagSafe ring that also acts as a kickstand. All right, it is that time to try to rank these cases. Let's spread them out a little bit, brand by brand. So we got Poetic, MagBak, got Benks, Pitaka, bodyguardz, a stack of UAG, and then a stack of mouse. This is always the hard part. So let's just narrow it down, see how far I can get down. I'm gonna go with Pitaka in top 3 just because of the, like a thin, protective, but also the precise cutouts for the camera module. I like MagBak, again, for the precise cutouts, the protection, all the different features you get with a MagBak case. Mouse. I'm gonna go with the leather mouse. The leather just, it adds a little bit of extra grip, and that's kind of like where I give the edge over the wood, even though the wood case is just such a cool looking, that's tough. But just for the sake of that little bit of extra grippiness with the leather, I'm gonna put that over in that pile. I normally get a ton more cases, but this is a batch of cases that I would recommend to anyone. It really just depends on your style, what you're looking for, how much protection, the different kind of materials that you want to get. If you want a ton of features off of it or super protective versus minimal, it just really depends on what you're looking for. The Monarch Pro. Got to put that in that pile there. If I was going to do a top 5, let's go with top 5, then I'll go top 3. How's that? Yeah, okay, there's top 5. Pitaka, minimal design with precise cutouts for the camera module. Full edge protection, almost. MagBak, it's literally so many features into a not so bulky protective case. That's a pretty good description, right? Mouse, just materials are good. Solid protection, it's a hard case. UAG, it's just a unique design, it's very protective. It's not quite the P cutout for the camera module. Then we got Benks, which it's like a happy medium between a relatively protective case, like more than just their carbon fiber stuff, but you still get the carbon fiber, but you get a little bit more extra protection. So that's top 5. Top 3 cases. I'm gonna go with Pitaka, MagBak. Ugh, this is tough. Gonna put Benks over here. Still a very solid choice. It comes down to these two. Like they're, as far as like tiers go or protection, style, that's hard to do. I like them both very much. No offense, UAG. I'm just gonna go with mouse over UAG this time. And it just really boils down to my preference of materials. Like it's hard not to like the leather material, even the wood. So top 3 cases, if I could only pick one case. I think I'm gonna go with the mouse case for, if I could only choose one case, and these are the reasons why. At times I need just solid protection, but I also go to events to where I want to dress nice and I dress my phone nice. Like I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I like to dress my phone to be matching my nicer outfit. So having the leather material kind of just checks that box. These other ones, I mean, the Pitaka would be fine for that occasion, but not for when I need just that extra level of protection. MagBak, I mean, protection-wise and all the features, like solid choice. Putting the black back onto these accent colors, I could maybe get away with a nicer outfit kind of vibe to it, but I'd have to give it to Mouse with the limitless leather case. Let me know what your top 5, top 3, or if you could only choose one case out of this whole batch, what would you pick? I'm really curious to know what case that is and why. Don't forget to leave comments down below with 2 thumbs up or 1 thumbs up or even a thumbs down. Trying that little strategy out to see how that goes in the comments. Don't forget about the hashtag BANETECH giveaway that I'm doing. You can learn more about that in the video description. Again, affiliate links down below if you're interested in any of these cases. Some of them have some discount codes too. And I'm got to end this video now because I've got to get this edited. And I got a pile of trash here to get rid of. The aftermath after these case haul videos is crazy.